All right, welcome to this week's BLT on Rye. You're here with your hosts.
B for... I always take books because I'm looking at books. Bengal Tigers.
I'm L for leopards.
I'm T for tigers. Benny, you can't take
he's already tigers.
I'm T for
Trilobites. Oh.
If I can reveal what happened on my end, I turned away from where I normally looked and saw the Blu-ray for Life of Pi and went Bengal Tiger.
I'm glad it was that and not a tiger in the house.
Isn't there a horror movie that's like they're stuck in a house and there's a tiger?
Maybe.
That might be, but also that sounds like a really anticlimactic horror movie. Like you have to actively be dumb to get killed by the tiger.
So, okay, hold on. I've watched the part where she has to climb up on a washing machine and into a vent to escape it. I think it's her dad locks her in the house with maybe her brother and seals up all the doors and lets this tiger loose that's starved and rabid, maybe.
So it's more than just a tiger. There's also a maniacal man who has locked her in the home.
Yes.
Okay, that's probably more a better movie, I'd imagine. Well, I don't know. I've never seen it, so I can't say, but it sounds interesting.
I'm gonna Google it. This is the bit now. This is what I'm doing.
While you do that, let me explain that we here at BLT on Rye watch TV shows, listen to albums, and watch movies and read comics, and like Benny has explained in the past, use that as a loose framework to talk about what's been going on in the past week.
I will also say part of the appeal is we each have different tastes.
Yeah, I was thinking about a tagline for this earlier. It's a musical theater nerd, a metalhead, and a sports movie critic.
That sounds like he only critiques sports movies. I would say a sports fan and a cinephile.
I would just call
now that sounds. A bar. I don't like the word cinephile. It sounds bad.
What about it?
It sounds like he derives sexual pleasure from movies.
Is that not what that means?
No, I mean I think it just comes from oftentimes when a file is used. It is.
So you don't get off on movies?
I mean, I certainly have.
Mm.
Well, it depends on the movie.
Life of Pi, where's that rank?
Life of Pi, no, I'm going to say, because that's a movie about a child and a tiger.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
No, have you guys seen Life of Pi and are willing to discuss the ending?
No, I have not seen it, yes, I'm willing to discuss the ending.
So it begins with him saying, I'm going to tell you a story that makes you believe in God. He then tells the whole story about him being trapped alone with 3 animals. It's like a tiger, a something, and a something. Very quickly, the tiger kills the other 2 animals. And then, whole movie plays out, and at the end, the guy kind of says, he's telling it to a reporter. And the reporter says, I don't believe that story. So he very quickly tells another story where it's him and 3 other humans who each represent one of the animals. And then, after that, the reporter says, now I believe the tiger story. And I kind of don't understand it.
See, the problem was, what you're supposed to do is you leave the tiger with the grain on the one side of the river.
Oh my god.
And you take the
chicken
over, and then you leave the chicken, come back, get the tiger or the grain, it doesn't really matter, and it's pretty straightforward. You just gotta swap it out. As for the ending, I don't know what that means. And I feel like that sounds like they got to the end and were like, wait a minute, how does this make one believe in God? And we gotta throw something a little philosophical in.
The closest I can get is the idea that the one story doesn't really make sense, but you for some reason believe it more than the one that does. But that's as close as I've come. And I maybe need to watch that movie again.
I thought I had seen the ending of it, and I think I've only seen him sitting in the chair. I watched part of it on a plane.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, this movie that I was talking about is called Burning Bright, released in 2010. In Montgomery County, Kelly Taylor's ready to go to college. Oh my god. Garrett Dillahunt, Brianna Evigan, Charlie Tahan, Peggy Sheffield, Mary Rachel Quinn, Tom Nowicki. And then there's Katie, Sheikah, and Kismet, who are all tigers. But they have IMDb credits.
I mean, it doesn't look like a very high-budget sort of film.
So anyway, her stepdad bought a tiger, and there's about to be a hurricane, so the whole house is boarded up. And then she wakes up in the morning, and the tiger is inside the house, and she and her autistic brother are trapped.
Huh. It sounds interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so, like I said, anything interesting going with you guys this week?
Not really.
Okay. Oh, Meatloaf's in this. Is Meatloaf the dad? No.
I'm not seeing Meatloaf on here. Meatloaf.
Is he credited by his real name?
Yeah. What is Meatloaf's real name? Marvin Lee Addy. Huh. I don't know. It says horror movie directed by blank, starring Brianna Evans, Garrett Dillon, Meatloaf, and Charlie Tahan. So if there's another person in the movie, it's Meatloaf, I guess.
Maybe they just eat meatloaf. That'd be pretty good. If I ever make a movie, I want to credit Meatloaf, and just like have Meatloaf in the movie.
Yeah.
That feels pretty good to me.
We made a film this week.
That's true, we did.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna finish up the sound. If
Appreciate that. They bumped, as I expected, and as I explained before, they were probably going to bump the submission date because they always do that. And they bumped it to December 31st.
So we got a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you say December 33rd?
31st.
I heard 33rd.
The real one that exists.
Luke's refusing to accept that 2020 will end. He's loving it so much that he's just...
It's not that I'm loving it, it's that I fear if I underestimate it, that it's going to take me by surprise and take me down. So I'm just assuming it will continue on.
We're not flipping to 2021 until things get better.
Yeah.
So, December 33rd, December 45th.
Yeah. Speaking of things not getting better, I got my car hit, so that was fun.
Yeah. You were going to send the video of that.
I did send it. I sent it in the text.
I didn't get diddly squat.
That's weird.
Oh, wait, is it the YouTube?
Yeah, I fixed the link so it works, so...
Oh, okay. I clicked on it and nothing happened the first time, so I was like, oh, okay, fun.
I realized now that unlisted on YouTube is different than private. Private, you have to, like, send out a personalized link and give people access, and unlisted is just you give them the link and it works, but they can't find it otherwise.
How long have you been, like, always filming your driving? Like, when did you start getting a dash cam?
I think I got that December of last year. And I always said, like, hey, I don't need a dash cam. Like, there's no, like, particular reason for it, but it'd be nice to have it if I need it. And up until that point, I had never needed it. But now that I'm happy that I have it.
Yeah, damn.
I didn't even get any, like, cool videos. Like, all I got was a cyclist coming very close to my car at night without any lights or reflectors. Until now. Yeah. So, would we take a look at this week?
I recommended the Netflix show American Vandal.
I recommended, I think it's just on YouTube, Halfway Hotel. Halfway?
Wait.
Halfway?
Halfway?
No.
Hazbin?
Hazbin Hotel.
Okay, good. We watched the right thing. They did in universe originally call it Halfway Hotel.
Yes.
And I recommended the Library of Congress preserved album Master of Puppets by Metallica.
For a hot second, I thought you were going to say that you recommended, like, reading something from the Library of Congress, and I was like, I did the wrong thing.
You listened to an album from the Library of Congress. Which was that?
I don't think there are any people in Congress that made this album.
I don't know. Some of those young people, they play Fortnite and Among Us, and they do TikTok dances, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh my god, I played Among Us, like, the other night.
Yeah.
I get it. It was fun. It was fun.
Oh boy. Well, that's good.
I'm not an old man who played it and didn't understand. That's not me.
Okay, that was me. Like, when we played it, the one time we played it, like, we all just died super fast. And I was like, wow, okay, that was awful. And then I played it with a bunch of people here, like, over Discord. And I was like, I get it. I was the imposter one time, and I did so many murders, and then I won.
Nice. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, so I made you watch Hazbin Hotel because somebody here had me watch it, and it was so good. I mean, it's basically, like, demons exist and are in hell, and every, like, once a year there's, like, basically a purge, and everybody kills everybody, and then there's territory disputes, and then the, like, daughter of Lucifer or Satan or, like, one of the high-up demons wants to, like, make people good and give them a second chance, and so she starts this hotel. It hasn't been picked up yet as a series, but I want it to be very badly. What did y'all think?
I have some thoughts and feelings about it. We both watched this together.
I'll say I liked it. We watched it together, but we agreed not to speak of it until right now.
I think overall, it
has been picked up for a TV series. I apologize.
Oh, neat. I think overall, I also enjoyed it. There was a portion of the time where I recognized one of the voice actors, and I couldn't enjoy, like, a 5-minute segment because I was desperately trying to remember who did that voice or where I'd heard it before. Some of it was... There was some parts that were a little bit, like, weird and confusing for me, but I think on the whole it was pretty enjoyable. Who picked this up? A24, of course they did.
My boys. I love A24.
A24 is very good.
I spent at least the beginning part of it wondering if it was from 2008 or just supposed to look like a 2008 Hot Topic. But
yeah.
And when I eventually realized that no, it's new, I was like, oh, this is cool. It's a real throwback.
Something about the animation felt very choppy and twitchy. Like, everyone moved way too quickly, and it kind of bugged my eyes a little. It's part musical, so, knock a couple points against it in my book, but
You and your anti-musicals. There's a really good song that Angel sings called Addicted. There's, like, a music video that they have for it. He and Cherry sing it. And it's, like, it's really good. The music video is very good. Also, there's, like, a shorts thing about... Oh, my God, I wish I could remember the name of it. I'm sure it pops up in the recommended for it. But, the voice actor for Billy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy plays one of the demons.
Huh. The one that I couldn't find for the life of me was Sir Serpentius. The voice actor for that does voice acting for puzzle games, or the series of puzzle games. Block Arcade, something like that. But he's very prominent and, like, talks over the whole thing, so I just recognized the voice. A couple of things I appreciated that they, like, just got into it and they didn't have to explain a whole lot. It was like, okay, There's demons. We're in hell. There's a purge. We don't have to explain the purge. Everyone knows what. Oh, there's a yearly purge. Makes sense. But then they like went back on it a little. Like there's a yearly purge where they kill off demons, and then was it Angel Dust was like making jokes about like where do we go when we die? Can we die? And like, yes, you ran over a guy in the first scene, and people die all the time. What do you mean? Like you're trying to explore the universe, or like it felt like they were trying to dump lore that they had already like got over and took care of.
Okay.
I didn't have that issue. I just felt like you can be purged, but you can't die.
I mean, like the first scene was the car that had angel dust in it running over a demon, and they like splatted and were gone.
So on the Wikipedia article, it says that heaven does the purge.
Well, what happens when they die?
So I'm guessing they don't actually die.
They go to a deeper layer of hell, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think
that's
that was
the thing.
explained.
I thought I had assumed they had it sorted when they said like purge, because they said it's for taking care of the overpopulation of hell. So clearly they are leaving hell in some way. But then they don't know where they go or if they could die. Maybe they can only die by angels, but the car hit the guy and he was dead. I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe I'm like worrying too much about the little details. That's another thing I just want to throw out there. It felt very. Some of the characters felt like they were swearing just to make it clear that this is an adult animation, and like just throw a fuck or a shit in there every so often. Like some of the characters, it felt natural, but some of them were like. It just felt forced. The whole over the top thing. I don't know.
You know that it's a cartoon, right? Was
Yeah.
that clear to you?
That was.
Okay.
I did realize it was not live action.
I enjoyed it, I think, more than Luke did. I thought it was fun, and I liked that it... I don't know, I liked the musical part of it. I thought there should have been more songs.
I'm sure there will be, and I'm so excited.
I was about to say, what is the song density? Are we like looking at two songs an episode?
I mean, that's the only episode.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the only episode?
Mm-hmm. Like that's literally like their pilot, like what they pitched, probably.
Huh.
So I'm sure
I
like
thought there
once
was more than that.
no, there's like some shorts that follow like the or whoever the voice actor Billy and Mandy, he plays a demon, and then there's two other, he works with his wife, and they work for another demon, and they basically like kill people. I'm assuming they go into the human realm and they kill humans. Like one of the first episodes, this lady comes in and like I guess her husband was cheating on her, and so she killed him and the woman he was cheating on, but then the woman survived, and everybody was like, "You're a hero, you survived the crazy lady trying to kill you, like you're a hero." And she's like, "I want him dead, I want her dead." And so they go up and they like try to kill her.
Huh.
So there's like a couple shorts that I assume will play in more once they get things picked up, but
As I said, it reminded me a lot of 2008 Hot Topic, which makes me want to ask, did you guys ever watch Invader Zim?
I was never big on Invader Zim.
What?
I love Invader Zim.
I also love Invader Zim.
My band in high school was called the Urkin Invaders.
Wait, come back. I need stuff. Gurr used to be like the height of the like punk girl RAR XD.
Yep.
I had a friend who had a Gurr backpack, and she gave it to me. And it was just a stuffed Gurr, and I came home and I was looking for it, and I think it's gone, but I'm so sad about it. I would absolutely use that right now. It could hold like a penny. The pocket was so small.
I wonder if that's still big. Like, through high school, is that still like if you're the kind of goth girl in high school, do you still love Invader Zim?
I doubt it.
Yeah,
feel
I
like
also doubt it.
If
Do you
like
listen to, like, The Devil Wears Prada and...
Probably listen to, like, Little Peep.
Not, Chiodos? Chiodos was another big one.
Yeah.
A hell of a pull.
I don't know what that is.
A Skylit Drive.
Chiodos was a band that I feel like every pop-punk girl in 2010, that was their band.
Yeah.
The lead singer was... I don't remember his name, but he was like...
They still around?
He was like underground Pete Wentz.
Oh, they retired in 2016 or broke up. Retired's a way to put it. Man, one of my best friends from middle school was very into Chiodos. Wow, that's a throwback. I'll still jam out to some As I Lay Dying, but I very quickly pulled in a different direction. I also want to say my 8th grade girlfriend had a Gurr hoodie.
That checks out.
Of course she did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think on the whole, A Hazbin Hotel was fun and interesting, and I'd be willing to watch more episodes. And I think if they got picked up and they throw a little money at the animation to smooth some of it out, that I think it will be very good.
I agree. I'm excited, and I hope that they have things in the works, because nothing's been. So they got reported on they got picked up on August 7th, 2020. It was announced, and then we haven't heard anything since.
Feels like animated television could be safe in a pandemic if everyone can record from home and.
Yeah, and all the animators have their drawing tablets and do that. But also animation takes longer than like normal television to produce in general.
True.
There is a spin-off series unveiled that already has more episodes, I think.
That I think is the short she was talking about. Would be my guess.
Yeah, but there's already 2 episodes of that. There's a pilot, and then there's a episode 1 in season 1, which is funny. It's like I was gonna say like Frasier being more popular than Cheers, which isn't true, but Frasier's writing's better.
Yeah.
Yes, hell of a boss.
Well, you'll have to keep us in the loop if you see a season 2. Honestly, I was like, okay, this might be something after we finish Hero Academia and the season of the challenge to like put on, but man, there's nothing after the 1 episode.
Nope.
Oh, I think I found Benny's favorite character thus far from Hero Academia.
Who?
It's Iida. It's gotta be.
Oh, Tenya Iida?
Is that the one I was laughing with?
Yeah.
That was so funny.
The motor shoes boy. When he's pretending to be a villain defending the bomb.
And he's just like really getting into the role. It was great.
Are you simping for Eraserhead yet? I'm always simping for Eraserhead.
We haven't seen much Eraserhead. He was like, I guess he was in 2 episodes. And then All Might was their teacher for the last little bit we watched.
And Tori, I don't know if you remember, because I didn't remember, but the first time Eraserhead's in, he's played as like kind of just a huge asshole.
Yes, he tells them he's going to expel them all.
Over the course of the series, it becomes very evident that he cares a lot about the kids and wants them to do their best and is very protective of them. But episode 1, he's like, yeah, I'm sending you home. You guys suck. You don't deserve to be here.
Okay, he just wants them to prove themselves. And it's also revealed that he has done that before. He's like expelled entire classes, and then he lets them come back.
But
they didn't tell us he lets them come back.
Yeah, they only said you expelled an entire class of 23 students in previous years.
Yeah, but he let them come back and they worked harder.
But they don't explain that yet. So what I'm saying is we're 2 episodes in, so it still feels like he's just an absolute monster.
Okay, but has he pulled out the yellow sleeping bag yet?
He
No.
shows up in the yellow sleeping bag.
Oh, he does
Yes.
show up in the yellow sleeping bag.
Oh, what a dream. Absolute dreamboat. And you won't meet Hawks for forever.
What I also said to Luke as we watched was, I don't think a lot of those uniforms they gave him a school would sanction.
Yeah, specifically, Momo. What the hell's her name?
Oh, but she needs her
Create
skin
stuff,
exposed.
girl.
She needs her skin exposed because she creates stuff from her body.
You're cutting out real bad, Tori. I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's just my love for Eraserhead.
I can't
Shoto
hear any of that.
Aizawa.
Yeah, I can't hear any of that. It's all robot noise. You might want to
Oh, no.
disconnect from Discord and then rejoin. Keep the recording running, but disconnect and rejoin.
Is that better?
Well, when we listen back, we'll get to hear what she said.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Momo Yaoyorozu, that's her name.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So we're just gonna keep on chugging. So after those tech issues, any last thoughts about Hazbin Hotel?
No.
I'm addicted to the madness.
Oh, one other thing, I'm gonna be critical a little bit longer. The main character, whoever does her singing voice, they should probably not give her just as many high notes.
It was a lot of high notes. I've listened to it before and I sang along, and it is. It's very high.
How much of the things you recommend to us are because you like singing the parts along?
Hey Luke, get off my
Yeah?
dick.
Because
Jump
I do
right
believe
off.
I do believe we watched a very confusing child's cartoon because you love the theme song.
Okay, but that was to trick Benny into a TikTok, and we all know that.
So, Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppets. So, Master of Puppets was Metallica in general was probably one of my first entries into metal music. So my background, I didn't listen to music until about 7th or 8th grade.
I also
Like-
didn't listen to music till about 7th or 8th grade.
Like,
Yeah,
any
like-
music at all?
I mean, like, when I was a kid, my mom would have put, like, the country station on the radio in the car. But then by the time I'm, like, 8, I'm like, nah, I don't care for music much. And just didn't listen to anything. I think I had, like, a Charlie Daniels Band CD, and I didn't listen to it very often. And then in 7th or 8th grade, I started listening to, like, the rock radio, and I would say Korn's album at the time, See You on the Other Side, which, looking back, not particularly great. Probably one of their worst albums. And then Metallica were the two bands and albums that really got me into this heavier music. And Master of Puppets is... Oh, I don't know if it's my favorite album of all time, but I think I could go on record saying that it's probably one of the best metal albums of all time, and I would not feel bad about that. I would not feel conflicted about that. What do you guys know about Metallica?
I know that they play metal music. That they one time had a very famous bass player who died. And that they don't like Napster.
Napster, yeah. Tori, anything?
People own shirts.
I do know
People
people
do
own
own
shirts.
shirts.
I should have included people own shirts.
So Metallica's probably the biggest metal band of all time. I cannot think of one bigger. Maybe Black Sabbath, but even then, like success-wise, I don't think Black Sabbath are bigger than bigger than Metallica. Like, Master of Puppets is 6 times platinum selling. It still regularly charts on, like, the best metal selling albums and stuff. This was their 3rd album, the last album they had before the death of their bassist Cliff Burton, And this was just very early in their career. They were very young when they got popular. Their first album was when they were like 16 or 17, and they got very big very quickly. And yeah, they're just like one of the biggest bands in metal, and this is, in my opinion, their best album. A lot of people argue it's one of the first 3 albums, but I think this one's their best.
I just remembered something else I knew about Metallica. They had one guy in it, and then they kicked him out.
That's it.
And then he started another band.
Yes, Jason Newsted. He was the bass player that they replaced Cliff Burton with. And they didn't really emotionally and mentally get over the death of Cliff Burton. And they kind of just took it all out on their bassist until he was like, you know what, I don't care that I'm in the biggest metal band in the world. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
I think of a different guy, because the story I heard was that they were like they hadn't really done anything yet, and there was this guy in it, and they kicked him out, and that he said, like, well, I'm going to start a band that's going to be so much bigger than they'll ever be. And
You're talking about Dave Mustaine.
That does sound...
Dave Mustaine is the guitar player and lead singer for Megadeth. The other one of they call it the Big Four of thrash metal, which are like when metal was popular in the like cultural eye, thrash metal was probably the biggest subgenre at the time. And there were 4 bands that were the biggest, Metallica being the biggest. I would probably say Slayer after that. Some people might argue Megadeth, and then Megadeth, and then Anthrax. And Dave Mustaine was an alcoholic, and they kicked him out because he was like too drunk to play shows, and they just put him on a bus and sent him home. Like as he woke up from a drunken stupor on a bus on the way home mid-tour, and they just booted him, and there was a lot of tension between them for a very long time. He was very angry at them, and they were like, hey man, you just gotta get yourself right. Except they were also kind of huge dicks, and probably weren't the best guys, because they also took a lot of his writing and stuff and used it for their next albums. So they, like, definitely, there was no good guy in the entire situation, I don't think. Except maybe Kirk Hammett, because he's just very chill and just wants to play guitar, man.
Okay.
Oh, I was also going to say, I'm like 90% sure I've played a couple of their songs on Guitar Hero.
That's probably possible. I don't remember what of their songs were on Guitar Hero.
I would bet Enter Sandman.
Oh, yeah, that's gotta be. Let's see. Metallica Guitar Hero. Oh, they had an entire game. They had Guitar Hero Metallica.
That tracks. Like, all I could think of when I was listening to, like, the titular song, Master of Puppetry.
Master of Puppets.
Was, like, with the intro, I was just like, I think I played this on Guitar Hero.
That sounds right. Just bip, bip, bip. So I will now open the floor. What do you guys think?
Definitely when... This is, like, maybe the first time you said we're going to listen to metal music. And I was like... It's done. I was like, yes, this is what I think of when you say metal music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's very distorted and fast, and then at one point there's, like, a big guitar solo where, like, I can picture the guy playing it, and he's got long hair, and he's, like, banging his head to the music as he, like, does the guitar solo.
I can also understand the words.
That's also true.
Yeah. How'd you feel about the words?
Funny that you mention it. There's like an article about I don't think it's a real article. It probably isn't. But and it's like amidst all the backlash of like George Floyd's death and everything, Metallica has announced that they will be changing the lyrics to Master of Puppets. So originally it read, Master of Puppets, I'm pulling your strings, twisting your mind and smashing your dreams. Blinded by me, you can't see a thing. Just call my name, because I'll hear you scream. And the new lyrics will be, Manager of equals, I'm cutting your hours, shattering your 401k and burning your dreams. Caught in a meeting, you can't do a thing. Just file your TPS report so I hear you scream.
Yeah, I believe that Metallica changing the lyrics to one of their biggest songs is probably a humor article.
It's from Death Metal Underground. So, you tell me, Death Metal Luke.
I only know Revolver, Metal Injection, and Metal Sucks, but Metal sucks. So, don't read Metal Sucks.
It sucks.
I also had two different experiences listening to this. One on my AirPods and one as I was in my car. And I definitely appreciated the bass playing more in my car.
Yeah, you get the full thumpy, heavy bass all around.
Yeah, as I was listening on my AirPods, I thought, like, this bass is alright, but it's not like I wouldn't freak out over this guy. But in my car, I was like, I guess I get it.
Yeah, there's also some of his earlier stuff. He has a bass solo on the first album that it's just an entire song. It's pretty much his bass solo, and it's very, very good. He was a treasure, and we lost him too early.
I'm assuming he loved that Jocko guy. Jocko?
Probably, I don't know. He also
famous
died
jazz
before I was born.
bassist.
Yeah, let's see. Burton cited Geddy Lee, Geezer Butler, Stanley Clark, Lemmy, and Phil Lynott as influences on his bass style. He could have been influenced by him. He just may not have said it.
Geddy Lee's an interesting one.
Any songs you cared for in particular?
Let me pull up a track listing. I liked Welcome Home,
Sanitarium.
Sanitarium.
Yeah.
A lot.
I liked Orion.
The instrumental.
I feel like Welcome Home was the one I understood the lyrics the most. Probably.
Oh, I also liked their first one, Battery.
Battery's very good. I mean, I could sit here and say all of these songs are very good. I think one thing that I appreciate about this album is all of the songs have a very distinct lyrical identity, and usually it's commentary on something. Like Master of Puppets is a song about being addicted to drugs and drug abuse. Welcome Home is about mental health. Disposable Heroes is about war. Leper Messiah is about religion and the church, organized religion at large. And Battery is, depending on who you're talking to, also either about war or about like just violence and aggression. And the thing that should not be is about Cthulhu. So a lot of commentary on like real world issues, that drug addiction's bad, war is bad, Cthulhu is bad, organized religion bad. Now I have been listening to this music for a very long time, so there's a lot of bands where people will be like, I can't hear a word, and I'm like, I can pick this out. This I hear pretty perfectly clear at this point. What percentage of the words do you think you picked up?
More than normal, but I'd still say around 50%. Like,
I think I got like 75% of these. But I think was this like you were conditioning us with like the previous albums you've had us listen to, where I was like, I understood 4 words, and now I'm like, I have an ear for it.
That's the problem. What I should have did was started with this.
What I should have did
was started with this, because what this would have been, it's like, oh, dip your toes in, and then wade you in a little further, and then like finally put you into some like old, like crazy black metal sort of shit. But what I did was just throw you into the deep end first, and then drag you out into this.
It was like you threw us into the deep end, and then you threw us a lifesaver, but not like an actual lifesaver, like the candy. And you were like, will this help?
Did it?
And it was pretty good.
That's good.
I was still drowning a little bit, and there's probably demons in the water, but not a bad piece of candy.
This one, there's no demons here. The demons here are man-made. This is society forcing their war and religion and drugs upon you. These are
No.
the demons here.
The demons are already in the water that you threw us into.
Oh, right, yeah. Those are there. The lifesaver has
I
no
know.
demons.
You can't really talk this, Victoria, though, because yours did directly involve demons.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
but
true.
like fun, cute demons that if they rolled up if you rolled up into their neighborhood, you'd be like, I love it here.
No, but they kill.
Yeah, the one seemed to be real dangerous. The
Yes,
radio demon.
Yes, they relished in destruction and murder. And drugs, like Metallica are telling you not to do.
Now, are they telling us not to do it, or are they telling us not to do too many?
Well, I think they're warning you that drug addiction is bad and it will ruin your life. So
Don't get addicted.
So don't get addicted to drugs. Now, I guess you could interpret that as I'm only gonna smoke a little crack, or maybe it's just hey, probably don't do hard drugs. So, any last thoughts?
Alaska Thunderfuck referenced Metallica in her song, The T. Metallica, turn the page, turn the page.
Oh, yeah, they did a cover of Turn the Page. Who was that? Was that Bob Seger?
Turn the Page is Tom Petty.
Tom Petty.
What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is
That's-
that Tom Petty?
No, that's
It's not unusual to be alive.
Tony Bennett. No.
Oh, it's Tom Jones. It's not unusual.
Yeah. Tom Petty's Free Fallin' and
Now I'm free.
American Girl.
I'm not a fan of Tom Petty, I don't think.
I like Tom Petty. I like Tom Petty. I like the Heartbreakers.
Do you like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers?
They're fine.
I like Marina and the Heartbreakers.
Just when they get together, they're acceptable.
Do you know Dave Grohl almost joined the Heartbreakers after Nirvana?
No.
I guess he toured with them and got the offer, and he was like, maybe, but I got this other band I'm working on, and we'll see where that goes.
What did Dave Grohl just do?
Put out an album?
Was he on SNL?
Yes.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah, because we were watching the Foo Fighters performance, and it was a new one that was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl's
It was-
great. I'm not a huge fan of the Foo Fighters. He's got a couple other projects that are very good.
Them
I also
Crooked
wasn't-
Vultures.
I
Them
wasn't
Crooked
crazy about the
Vultures
last
and,
couple bands on SNL.
I haven't been crazy about the last couple SNLs. They've not, I think, been that great.
They were
What do
pretty
you
weak,
think-
the ones we watched.
What do you think of the Joe Biden? God,
I think
I'm
it's
blanking on the
too
name right now.
Jim Carrey. It's no Joe Biden. It's just Jim Carrey doing Jim Carrey while he's slightly dressed up like Joe Biden.
Yeah, I swear the one time he literally made a Ace Ventura reference.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I was like,
Sir.
it was probably that.
I think he's great. I love his Joe Biden.
I think he's fun, but I don't think it's a good Joe Biden, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I think Maya Rudolph is killing Kamala Harris.
Oh, yeah. She's great.
Yeah. That was pretty spot on. Yeah. Anyway, Metallica is very good, and I figured you were going to say that this sounded more like metal in your mind because thrash metal was the big subgenre that exploded into the popular culture that really got out there. So this is what metal sounds like to most people.
Yes.
So for mine, I guess we'll move on to mine.
Yes, that's the only one left.
I chose probably my favorite Netflix original of all time, American Vandal. I had the Wikipedia up, and then I looked at something else.
It was a... No, go ahead.
Came out in 2017. It's a parody of documentaries like Making a Murderer and Serial. It's like a true crime documentary, but set in a high school, centered around the crime of somebody drawing dicks on the teachers' cars.
I see that there's 2 seasons. Is the second season also the dicks?
No, the second season is a completely new crime.
Gotcha.
They go to a different... They get enlisted by a different high school to come and investigate.
I knew nothing about this going into it, and just reading the name, I was like, American Vandal, American Graffiti, I don't know. I wonder if this is like a serious or scripted show. And I was like, oh, okay, so this isn't scripted. This is, a documentary. Oh, it's dicks on cars. Okay, I can get behind this. This is going to be fun.
That was, like, my exact train of thought with it, too. I was like, okay, we're gonna watch, like... I was, like, really into it because, I love, like, the murder crime shows or whatever. And then I was like, okay, yeah, like, who's dead? Like, what's gonna happen? And then it was, like, dicks on cars. And then they were like, our hard piece of evidence is there's no ball hairs. And I was like, all right.
They did a very good job of aping the, like, tone and pacing of the, like, true crime sort of shows where it's like they went through and it's like it's done, like here's all the evidence, it's hard clad, it's laid out, this guy's gonna fry, but wait, we found this one inconsistency and this led to us reevaluating this and this. And then my favorite part was how they ended it, which was how they end all those shows, like going from one episode to another. Especially they did this for Tiger King really obnoxiously, where it was like they're asking someone a question and then they mention something completely out of left field, and then the interviewer goes, wait, what? Like, oh yeah, you didn't hear? This person killed everyone knows that. And then they're like, cut to, like, end of the episode there, and it's like, oh, gotta sit through the second episode to see why Carol Baskin murdered her husband, or why people think that. And they just got all the little pieces just right.
And I'll say they continue to do, not like, they never do that again where it, like, ends on the cliffhanger, but they just continue to get all the little pieces right.
Yeah.
On, like, every little bit along the way. Mm-hmm. And it is so funny. And it's just, I think all the actors are great. I think they're mainly improvising. I think they're kind of told what the goal of the scene is. Because all of their performances are just so natural. Like, when he's, like, sitting with the dog, and he's like, the dog knows I'm innocent.
Yeah, and it's like, see? He's saying, don't do this to Dylan. Don't do this to Dylan.
And that character is just so, like, it's the best representation of, like, that type of guy I've ever seen.
I was like, I probably knew a person like this. I loved when they were talking about, like, his friends were like, oh yeah, he went to go... Boys? The Wayback Boys. They all said, like, yeah, he went to go poop at, what was the antique place?
Precious Moments.
Precious Moment.
I should also say, I've watched this all the way through 4 times. I love it so much.
Like, he went to go poop at Precious Moments because he doesn't like my toilet seat. It's squishy, and he says it feels like you're sitting on you've got your butt on another butt, and you're pooping into another butt. And then they cut to Dylan, and he's like, yeah, I don't poop at his house because he's got, like, one of those gross squishy toilet seats, and it feels like you're sitting on a butt and you're pooping it. Like, they just kept, they went with, it feels squishy like a butt, and, like, you've got your butt on another butt, pooping into another butt, so many times, and the whole thing every time. And I was like, oh, this is so good. I see that Netflix did not renew it for a 3rd season.
No, I was so upset, because it's, the 2nd season was also so good. The crime there is somebody poisons the, like, lemonade at a school and makes everyone shit their pants.
Okay, that is literally, like, Netflix has been doing this thing where, like, they're canceling things after the 2nd season. There were, like, 2 other shows I just read about that weren't renewed after the 2nd season.
I don't remember, but did Glow only have 2 seasons?
Yeah, that was it. It was Glow.
Glow was real good, too.
I love Glow. I'm so sad. And then there was another show.
I wonder if they're cutting the good ones because they cost money to produce, and then they're going to just make more garbage. fill up that Netflix original catalog real quick so people stay. What was I going to say? Oh, the premise of the second season, that happened at my school. Someone put laxatives in the ranch dressing for a senior prank.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we had like 11 people have to leave class because had to poop. I want to say some of them shit themselves.
What I enjoy about this show is it does make a real commentary. Like, you know, like they really do have something to say about Dylan kind of being the suspect from the beginning and the kind of school just railroading him and like what that does to him. And the second season as well has like kind of a point goes to social media and how it like it's like real harmful, yeah.
Which I guess an extension is a commentary on like the sort of the true crime series that it's making fun of, like how the situations in those shows get manipulated in a similar way.
Yes.
I also felt like there was a little bit of a I mean it's making fun of it clearly, but like a distaste for those sort of series. Maybe that's just me reading into it too much, but like those series sometimes feel very exploitative to me. But I guess
I think you're right, because later in season 1, people do start to say to Peter and Sam like, why, like, you're exposing everybody's secrets, you're going around, like, investigating, but really you're just kind of, like...
making a show.
Like, these are our private lives that you are prying into, and so it's interesting.
I couldn't tell you an exact moment, but it kind of felt like that they were going after those sorts of things a little. I don't know why.
I will also say one of my biggest celebrity crushes is in season 2, Taylor Dearden. So it's worth the watch for that.
Oh, you want to know what I found out this weekend, Tori? Tori, did you ever watch the show Gotham?
No.
Oh. Well, the one actress on it was in Benny's... That was your junior film thesis.
Yes.
Yeah.
We found out she played...
Firefly.
And
Yeah.
Like,
the other
was
guy...
the voice actor, or...
No, like Gotham, the live-action Batman.
Oh.
No,
live-action Batman
CW?
prequel, I guess. Don't think it was CW.
That would track, though.
It has that sort of aesthetic, but let me tell you, it is much better than all the other like CW sort of shows. It was Fox.
No.
Have you watched Gotham, Benny?
No. I wanted to when I found out she got cast in it.
Oh, I recommend it. It's very good. It's like... It takes place while Bruce Wayne is a child after his parents have been murdered, and it's like the origin stories of a lot of the villains and stuff. And like you're following Jim Gordon and another detective, like solving these crimes. In the first season, they're very like normal crimes, and then by the second season, the setup from season 1 starts to pay off, and like, oh, it turns out this guy was actually this villain, and when they put him away, it did this, and it set off this chain reaction, and now Scarecrow's here.
That does sound interesting.
Yeah, it's very good. So I recommend that. And your friend is in it?
I would say acquaintance. I don't want to call us friends.
Yeah, okay. You're the person you knew.
Yeah, we were friendly at the time. I haven't spoken to her in years, though.
Yeah.
Are you still friends on Facebook?
Yes.
Oh, well,
that's how I knew that she got cast in Gotham. And then the other guy, the kind of one of the supporting characters, I would call him the second male lead. I saw him in Good Time, the movie The Safdie Brothers, made before Uncut Gems.
Well, look at that. Well, if that's the case, we should have got better actors for our thing, because I'm not cutting it. You gotta cut me out. Find one of your Hollywood friends and.
Truly offended that I was not asked to be in it.
You were asked to do musical accompaniment for it.
Yeah, but I'm an actor.
Would you have flown to Pennsylvania to been in this for 4 hours?
So I found out the other day.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So my sister married a cop, right? Gross.
Yeah.
Ew, disgusting. ACAB. But I'm a little less angry because he's, like, transferred out of the unit he was working in and is now heading sex crimes against children. And they basically are doing, like, a to catch a predator sting operation.
Well, that's cool.
And he didn't appreciate, I don't think he appreciated it, but I was like, if you need someone to do, like, a little kid voice, I'm an out-of-work actor and I do a pretty good one. And he just went, okay. I was like, come on, Tony. Work with me.
Tony, that one deserved a chuckle. Tony
the cop.
Come on.
Tony is a perfect cop name.
Yeah, Tony's a cop name.
He's either a sergeant or a detective, but I have him in my phone as officer, all caps, Tony.
Sergeant
Don't,
Tony.
well, bleep that out. Don't say his full name.
Yeah, I'll cut that
It
out.
sounds like he's doing undercover work as well, so.
He's not anymore.
Sergeant Tony. Officer
like
Tony.
Officer Tony, what are you doing?
Hey, what you doing around these parts, Officer Tony?
There's a Jeff Foxworthy bit where he's having a party with Officer Mitchell. I just used to quote it to my friend Hope all the time. We would just yell it at each other whenever we saw each other. It's Officer Mitchell! I thought you said you didn't want to come back here no more. Mikey puked in the fish tank. Smells very much bad in here. The bit is like the cop keeps coming back to this house because they're throwing a party and he's like, you guys need to stop.
Yeah, he's like, I figured that from
Mitchell!
you said you didn't want to come back here, but here you are.
I think it's very funny. Tony puked in the fish tank. Smells very much bad in here.
Well, that was, I guess that was everything. We tackled everything. We made a pretty good time.
Yeah, I felt like this was a very,
Efficient.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, like,
I don't know there.
we all talked about our stuff, and it was like, yeah, Hazbin, I'll tell. That was pretty fun. American Vandal, very funny. Master of Puppets, good stuff. Okay. Check.
Have you guys watched The Owl House?
No.
No.
Okay, that might be my pick. It's very good. And I want season 2 now!
I remember I just listened back. So I when we uploaded the audio for the last podcast, we found that the audio for the episode before it,
The secret hidden episode.
The bonus
that
episode.
that I put together. And so I listened to that, and there was some interesting stuff on that. And one of the things I was like, ooh, I have to pick this for my next one, and I completely forgot about it. So, might have to pick that. But the other thing was going back and listening to, like, Benny giving a formal beforehand apology for how much he was going to be talking about Big Brother, because it was an all-star season, and it was so hyped.
I did talk about it a lot. I just wasn't at all times positive.
Yeah. I also found out a bunch of my cousins are very into it.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were
They
going to
just
say
made a
your
new
cousin was
friend.
in it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, my cousin's Cody.
My cousin did marry a woman named Keisha, so just, that might be. I don't think that's her. But
Was
yeah,
that one of the many surprise weddings you've ended up at?
No, I've only been at the one surprise wedding. What was the other thing like? Oh, the vampire thing. When I was talking about the vampire, I was like, I'm surprised you guys hadn't heard that story. Usually, I just leave my stories go because I figure I've told all of them, but I gotta remember that I don't tell everyone everything. Tell some stories on the podcast.
My tattoo artist, the vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or my other tattoo artist, the positive conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. The government stepping in to make sure all of our lives are okay.
Yeah. Honestly, that's kind of a wild claim.
You have inspired me. I want another tattoo real bad.
What do you want?
I have like 60 ideas. I don't know. I don't know what I would end up getting. I was really hoping, because Friday the 13th, in Pittsburgh they usually do flash sales, so I was hoping they would do it out here, but they don't.
I don't like those. My cousin and my cousin's girlfriend, too, like, they always get them, and I'm like, oh, like, that's cool, and they have, like, an arm of a bunch of them, but I don't know, just aesthetically, they're just very disconnected and very simple, and it feels weird that there's like, oh, I got this tattoo that probably a good another 30 people in the same city are walking around with.
Have you told this to them?
No, I've not.
Well, you know that you've recorded it now, and
yeah, but they don't watch it.
If they listen, they're going to be like, I thought Luke liked my tattoos.
I got mine from a flash sale, but he changed it, so I think I'm probably the only one that got, instead of a squid, a jellyfish.
Akira, Leanna, if you guys are listening, I like your aesthetic. I don't like the flash tattoos.
Akira, Leanna, if you're listening, kick his ass.
Do it.
Do
I'm very
it.
happy I never got any of the tattoos I wanted as a kid. Because it'd be like, imagine if I just had to walk around right now with like a Fugazi tattoo.
I think it'd be kind of dope.
Like, do you like Fugazi? And I'd be like, when I was 16, I did.
Yeah, I had that same thing where I was like, the first tattoo I wanted to get was this, or that. And looking back, I'm like, no, that wouldn't have been cool. That wouldn't have been... I would have been like, yeah, I was a kid, I guess. I liked things.
I liked things, and I thought that was my personality.
Yeah.
I thought the things I liked were my personality.
But to an extent, they kind of are. That's part of what makes you you, is the things that you enjoy.
Kind of.
I would have absolutely had an Invader Zim tattoo, and I'm just sitting here cringing. I've got Grr somewhere on my body. The one tattoo I really do want, but I don't want to have to pay for it, so if I ever get like a sugar daddy, I want the Hobbit quote, "No business except party business," but I want it as a tramp stamp.
Oh no. Benny, you've gone on record saying you don't want tattoos because they're going to hurt, and for also the reasons previously stated on this podcast. If you had to get one, we mentioned the heart tattoo. Anything else?
I could definitely see getting like... Well, for a little while, I thought about getting the Morrissey quote, "It takes strength to be gentle and kind." But now I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, no.
He has burned that bridge.
Yeah.
It's a great quote, and I still think it's words to live by, but I don't attribute it. And
yeah, you just do not put
someone
the
once said
it
takes strength to be gentle and kind.
I don't recall who.
It was a song, but I don't remember the band nor... I don't know. Maybe I'd get like... I don't know. Just looking around my room.
Just get a tattoo of your room.
Yeah.
Just
The layout. So I remember.
A blueprint of places you've lived.
I could definitely see, this is 100% inspired by something I saw in my room, but definitely something I could see, like the Get Up Kids album, Something to Write Home About. There's two robots on the front, and I could see getting one of them.
I was going to
see
say...
you getting...
Oh, go ahead, Tori.
Oh, I was just going to say, I feel like I could see you getting like a book, just like a very simple book, like an outline tattooed on like your ankle or something.
My ankle.
Yeah, why is ankle?
So when I show my ankle off.
Yeah.
Like the harlot he is, flashing his ankle to God knows who.
Disgusting. I was going to say, I know some of your usernames are Get Up, or have the Get Up in it, and I was like, I know he's very into the Get Up Kids.
Well, I was when I was 6. I mean, I still listen to the Get Up Kids a lot, but I would not say that, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have the same affection for them I did back then,
Right.
but I still listen to them quite a bit.
How about just a simple eyeball tattoo?
A tattoo on my eyeball or a tattoo of an eyeball?
Yeah, on your eyeball. Get your eyeball inked.
Oh, I thought you were telling him to get an eyeball tattoo, like, on his ankle, like Count Olaf.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I meant
The
injecting
VFD
ink
one.
into his eye.
Be a conversation starter, especially wearing masks and all you can see is your eye.
Yeah.
I will say...
There's some real cool looking ones where it's just like this weird
I'm just
pale
like,
blue.
what's wrong with your eye? Oh, it's a tattoo. Oh, you got your eye tattooed? Yeah, I've got tattoos all on my face, but you can't see them with the mask.
Man, there's got to be so many people that like have face tattoos right now and are regretting it, but are going like getting that job interview with the mask on. Like, no, I feel safer this way. Let me just leave this on.
Would you ever get a face tattoo?
No, I would not.
It would depend what it was. Like, if I go to prison and kill somebody, I'm absolutely gonna get a teardrop. Are you kidding?
I don't think
That'd be
there's.
stupid not to.
I'm not. I don't like the aesthetics of the face tattoos very much, and I don't think there's anything that I care enough about to have on my face.
What about, wasn't there that thing where, like, people would give you, like, $10,000 to tattoo their brand on your head?
Probably, but that feels morally not good for companies to do this to people.
I would absolutely do that because, like, I got the makeup skills to cover it up.
Yeah, but then you gotta do that, like, every single day.
And we're currently in quarantine, so I wouldn't be doing that. I would have the $10,000, and I would just sit around with my face tattooed. I wouldn't have the $10,000 anymore. I would have spent it on rent or something.
Yeah, ew.
1 month rent.
Yeah, it's funny because it's in Nebraska, but it's New York City.
I can't wait for this quarantine to be over so I can kick your ass.
Yeah. Me
When
too.
do you go back to New York, Tori?
I don't know. School starts in January, but it's almost certainly going to be online.
Stuff's starting to move back virtual here. A bunch of schools are going and stuff like that.
Yeah, the university here just went fully remote.
Almost like Pitt was talking about it.
So Pitt's on... I mean, I don't know how much our listeners care about all this, but Pitt is on shelter in place right now.
They're done after Thanksgiving. Like, because they don't want people going home and then coming back.
Huh. Yeah, well, that's what they didn't do that last year. They did that... Or no, they did that for spring break.
Yeah, I got spring break off, and on that day I got a call that said don't come into work on Monday.
That sounds way more ominous.
Yeah, it does.
Don't come into work.
You're a good employee, Benny. Don't come to work on Monday. We're closed. Well, I think that's about all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. I shipped an auto harp today.
You shipped a what?
An auto harp?
It cost me like $101, but I did it.
Why did you ship it?
Because it was my mom's and my brother had it here.
Oh. Are auto harps
And she
big?
was like, yeah, it's fairly large. It was bigger than I am.
Wow.
Across. Not tip to toe.
Yeah.
Like hip to hip. It's larger than I am.
Yeah. I went as a harp for Halloween once.
Did you? That's a good costume.
Yeah.
Do you have pictures?
No, I went to a party and I was explaining like, oh, I'm a harp, and the one guy was like, you know, you look a little tiny to be a harp, and I said, are you calling me a liar?
I hate you so much. That's so dumb. That's the worst thing you've ever said to me.
So, my computer's gonna die, so I might just drop out of this eventually.
Okay.
Well, my recording will stop.
I
will still be able to communicate.
I think we're about done, so why don't we go ahead and sign off? This has been BLT on Rye. We've been your hosts.
I've been Benny for...
You've been Benny for what? No, you've been B. Fuck, we're back to messing it up.
I've been B, and it's been this entire time for bikes.
I've been L for laryngitis, but you think it's COVID. and it scares you to death.
I've been T for trichtodecaphobia.
The fear of the number 13.
Yeah, that feels right. So I'm Tori. Follow me on all of my social medias. And my OnlyFans. Oh, and if you match with me on Tinder and you say that you found me through the podcast, something will happen.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She like has to go on a date with you at that point. Or
again,
just
Tori
bring
has
them on the
not given
podcast.
any of the way to find this, but we're not going to allow her that space.
Yeah, she doesn't get that anymore. I don't have any social media. Don't follow me.
Just know there's too much of me. It's too much Tori.
I have social media, but I'm not like a fun follow. Like, not like how I am here. Like how I'm a fun listen. I'm not like a fun follow.
I mean, it is a fun follow. It's just very seldom. All the tweets are very good. We went through a bunch of your tweets on the last edited podcast, and they were very good. Like
Thank you.
On
I need this validation.
On Father's Day, tweeting "Happy Birthday" to all the dads out there.
That was on Facebook. He posted it to Facebook.
There was another one that like cracked me up. It was okay. I'll bite. Who is Michael Jordan?
You gotta get them likes on Facebook for it.
Anyway, that's been our podcast. We'll see you next time.
No, we won't.